Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Walk Talk. I guess our fact of the episode, our fact about the walk will be I haven't carried it very far. The farthest I've carried it is, oh geez, I don't know the distance, but it would be, I'm over on the east side of Grand Prairie here, and I walked over from farther on the west side, not quite the west side, but over by Walmart. And that's the farthest I've carried this thing because this thing is kind of fucking heavy. At least when you compare it to a lot of things, it's heavy. When you compare it to other things, it's not that heavy. It's nothing compared to the size of a mountain. So let's get on with the squats. We're doing squats to prepare to walk 50 miles with a pallet. It's a little stunt to raise awareness for suicide prevention. 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. What I want to talk about is somebody who has been getting quite a lot of attention. You've probably seen him on YouTube. His name is Skyline Superhero. He's got a lot of his shit together. He knows Shaolin Kung Fu. He goes out and helps the homeless, handing stuff out. Looks like he had some drinks and I think some food and stuff, and that's fantastic. I think he has a car, which is like, whoa, he's like a high tier real life superhero. He has a fucking car. Not everybody has one of those. I think you're on another level by just owning a vehicle. It's such a useful tool. But what I wanted to talk about was a short of his that I had watched a little while ago because this guy is he's pretty prepared. He has a whole list of reasons of why you'll end up on the floor, which is maybe my criticism of him as he seems so action oriented. I I think he's on the edge of gatekeeping, making it seem like you can't help out your community as a real life superhero if you're not a Shaolin trained fighter or or at least like claiming things that you need to spar to be able to go out, or you won't be prepared. You'll be on the floor. Sparring is a privilege. You know, not everybody has the privilege of having someone to test their skills against, and and I think having the fighter mindset can sometimes lead people to throwing a punch when otherwise they wouldn't have when uh, when they end up starting the fight rather than just defending themselves. There's times when people feel intimidated, and when they have a punch cocked ready to go, I think that can be a problem. I don't think that's a problem for real life superheroes. I think that's a problem with people. It's we need to be able to learn to yell at each other and argue and stuff like that because yelling at someone shouldn't be an assault on them. At the same time, if you don't want to be yelled at, you're in your full rights to get out of that situation. I'm not saying stand there and get yelled at people if you don't feel like it, but feel free to stand your ground. But standing your ground shouldn't mean throwing the first punch just because somebody maybe gets in your face a little bit. That's the line that a lot of people have where someone gets in their face, they might shove somebody back. I even had a scenario where somebody got in my mom's face and it really freaked me out because I'd never seen someone get right up in her face, like point, like go get right up in your like up in her face, like pointing at her, and I pushed the person back, and I could have been charged with assault. I was just I basically said I thought she was going to hit my mom, and yes, I did. I pushed a lady back, and it's like I am a man pushing a lady back, and I begged her to hit me. I'm like, you can hit me like I assaulted you. You can have a free punch on me if that would make you feel better. This was before I wore a cape or anything like that. That was just me and my mom. Um, I don't ever want to make that mistake again. A shove is an assault on another person. Somebody could fall backwards and die just because I felt my mom was threatened at that point doesn't mean she was. Nobody swung a fist or anything. Someone was just getting in a heated argument, and it's so easy for things to boil over. That's what being heated is. It heats things up. It boils things over. And so I don't like people being too much in the combat mindset, because maybe I was too much in the combat mindset and wasn't. I was thinking defensive rather than offensive. But when you're making the first push, I don't see that as defensive. That's just my bottom line. But why I was bringing up Skyline Superhero was not because he had crossed any kind of lines or anything like that. As far as I know, he's a gentleman. He has only done good things. He's got a great reputation, and his name is getting out there. Holy shit, his name is getting out there. That's the only thing that makes me hesitant on making another video about him, is because, wow, Moist Critical reacted to your video. It's like, who's your friend? Like, holy fuck, yeah, excuse me if I sound a little bit sour about that, but it's like this guy just comes out of nowhere, and it's like he's a social media fucking superhero. Like, his power is to be picked up by the fucking algorithm, apparently. But I'm sure a lot of that was because of his hard work, not just because of the unseen forces of the internet. And so I'm sorry this sounds so petty. That's not what this video was supposed to be about. This is supposed to be a fun video. Making fun of a video that he made, which I think was supposed to be made fun of. Basically, he said, "Look, I got my new uniform," and he changed from his overalls, coveralls, never remember the difference, to like a spandex bodysuit. And it's like, whoa, holy shit. I normally encourage people to go more Adam West, but maybe this is going a little too far, because everybody, all these great comments. My favorite one was like, we were excited to see Skyline. We had no idea Skyline was excited to see us. And it was like, yeah, man, you're front and center, and never mind it being kind of funny and throws off your whole image because your package is just sprayed out there. It's not safe, and your whole thing was being prepared and being like a combat oriented guy, and you have this whole spiel about why you should learn staffs because they're effective and all that stuff. But I don't really like encouraging people to pick up sticks, especially when you're encouraging people to be like real life superhero. I feel like those are lines that like, a weapon is a weapon. Like, you got to realize, even if you're just carrying like a simple stick, if it's a walking stick and you're using it as a walking stick, that's fine. You might use it as something else, and yeah, that's, multi-purpose tools. But if even if you have a walking stick, if you go around and you're beating people with it, like, eventually they're going to say you're the problem. But going back to the package in question, that's dangerous, man. Like, I know, and I think it was just a video that was making a joke, and it was basically, he was like, "Oh, I can breathe in this outfit. Like, my other outfit was too warm." And it's like, that might have actually be a functional truth, but the reason why you don't go out there with your package out in the open like that is because there's or why you shouldn't. I'm not going to speak for you. If you really want to, you can. Although I'm pretty sure I've seen future videos where you were not wearing spandex. This was a short from 8 months ago, and so I feel like this was a joke video. Might be wrong. It's a funny joke if you made a joke, but just in case it wasn't, I want to talk about it like it was real. There's a real life superhero called Caballero, I believe it's pronounced. It's Spanish for night. I recently typed out his name in a comment for Skyline, the short there, and I completely butchered his name, but it's Caballero. I'm just bad with pronouncing it. He rolled with Phoenix Jones, and I've heard from, not me personally, but in interviews, heard Phoenix Jones, and I've heard him describe how he almost got his junk ripped off because he was wearing tights. And yeah, like, you're exposed, man. Like, don't go out there. Like, I don't wear a mask just because of Thanatos getting stabbed in the guts, and I think maybe people should reconsider wearing tights in real life superhero situations if you are worried about combat issues, because people are always bashing capes, and this is going to be the next thing I want to talk about. People are always like, "Oh, capes are so impractical, so impractical." They were a practical form of clothing for like what, thousands of years? I don't even want to say hundreds. Like people have been wearing capes for a long fucking time, and they only recently stopped wearing them. And I might be totally wrong about those numbers, so go ahead and fry me for that. But people have wore capes for a long time. People wore capes as symbols, but also as practical clothing. And as someone who's walked out on the highway, the cape is a practical piece of clothing. Okay, I walk for days at a time between Grand Prairie and Beaver Lodge, depending on how I want to stretch out the walk. And this thing not only is a useful tool for regulating your own temperature, but when you're in public and you're trying to maintain a little bit of dignity, because you make yourself known and you make yourself a symbol. People are watching you. The cape gives you privacy in ways that you might not understand, because you may be stuck in an emergency bathroom situation. Now, usually I don't have to take a shit somewhere. Taking a shit is a whole other like box of snakes where I'm talking like on the highway. I'm not talking like shitting in public. But I'm like, when I'm out on the highway and I can be miles away from the nearest porta potty, it's like I usually go into the bush if it's available. Usually, I know how many hours I got to walk to get to the bush, but the scenario may always come up where you're not able to get to a public washroom. Sometimes that's because of the way you're dressed. Uh, and sometimes people just don't make public washrooms available. Um, but this wasn't about taking a dump. This is about just having to take a piss every now and then. If you want a little bit of dignity while taking a piss and you can't get to a bathroom right away, um, it's a functional, real life superhero thing to be able to not show your dick when you're either on the side of the highway or in town, not able to get to a public washroom. Because you're a human being. Everybody has those emergency situations where they have to take a piss, but most people aren't in the public eye like a real life superhero might be. And so a cape is something where you never know what has happened to you, you know? Um, you might be having medical issues. Like, I don't have to piss in public very often. This is a once in a very rare does this happen. But when it does happen, you want to be able to have the option to hide what you're doing over here. And I've never had a complaint about that. I've always worried that people were going to think I was pissing on my Canada flag cape and thinking it's some kind of weird symbol. But no, I think it's important to be able to piss in public. And also, like from the Watchmen comic, two things from the Watchmen comic: make sure your cape breaks away so you don't get strangled like Dollar Bill in the revolving door. And the other thing is, Night Owl redesigned his costume so he could go take a piss in a hurry, because one of his costumes didn't allow him to get out fast enough. And you do not want to soil yourself while you're in uniform. I'm just trying to save everybody a little bit of indignity, because you're focused on other things, you know, like could be life and death scenarios that you're involved in, or maybe you're just trying to serve your community. Maybe you're dancing and singing out there. I try to encourage real life superheroes to do more fun things, like have a balancing act, or hold a sign with positive messages, or you know, I feel like that's just as much a possible enemy of apathy as much as going up and cleaning up garbage that might be littered. Just make sure to watch out for needles, because it's a perilous job. Don't ever underestimate the dangers of such a simple task. Um, but yeah, I think I've said enough, and I think I have enough time left, because I'm always doing these videos on my lunch hours. I need to learn to do them in my free time. That's my problem. Is I never want to record videos on my free time, but I'll try to do that. Well, anyways, I'm Captain Canada, Joseph Arthur Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I love you, and I want you to know that suicide is never ever the answer. Peace out.
for now.